This is Art and Such, part 1 of my Puss in Boots from Shrek on the Rainbow Loom. This is a complicated pattern and I will be referring you to my additional features videos. You might want to have a look at those first actually. This is the model that I did my first time, but in this video we're going to try and make the Puss in Boots who has the little paws and the wide eyes and the hat right in the middle. But I'll still be telling you how to create this effect and give you some pointers if you want the larger version of Puss. So for materials, you will need a paper clip for the sword, 1 or 2 C-clips to hold your pattern together at the end. You will need white, orange for the fur, black for the hat, boots, and cape, and yellow for the feathers in the hat. And depending on the extra features you've chosen, you might want pink for the bow, green or a similar color for the eyes, red to wrap around the boots at the end, and a darker orange or brown for creating stripes on the tail. Now in my additional features, I showed you how to make the cape, so get that ready if you haven't yet. The arms, if you're using those, and our hat. Now we can begin to make our body. So this is your loom setup. We have it in the offset position, starting, these are all double bands, but starting 2 double blocks going from the top peg on either side to the second in the center, and double bands going down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to our 7th peg. A little bit shorter here, so only across 6 pegs down the center. Black pegs, black bands on our pegs going down 5 pegs. This is for the boots. If you're doing the larger version of Puss, you'll keep those all fur colored and do the toe of the beat of the boots in foot color. If this is a pattern you're doing though, we'll get some caps on here, just single triangular bands. And if you like this white on the belly, you can always switch out some of these bands for whites when you're going down. Once you have this, you're going to go to the bottom of the loom and we'll be making boots to put on. So for our boots, we're going to make them nice and thick with 2 bands wrapped 3 times. Take another 2 bands, wrap those 3 times, same hook. And take 2 bands, bring those all on top of those. Now you have 4 loops on your hook, and these can go on the bottommost peg of your body to cap off the boots, as I say. We're going to start to loop it up, but make sure you have your arm pegs handy because we'll be stopping towards the top here to put those on. And if you decide to do the shorter paws, as I will, then we'll make those at that point. So go under your boot caps and loop straight up, but not right to the top. We'll just stop a peg or 2 short. Stop there. We'll repeat on the other side. I should also add, if you did make the cape and you wanted to put that on, that will go on your top 2 pegs, and I'll demonstrate that in just a second. Let's keep going with this side. I'll just pause here a second and show you really quickly. If you have decided to put your cape on, this is why I'm doing the body separately from the head, is to show you. You can take 2 of those loops, 2 of those loops, and just leave it there out of the way. So when you hook it up, loop it up the rest of the way with our arms on, this will show up on the back of it once it's been removed from the loom. Okay, so that is the cape option. Take that out of the way again. If you, I should also add, if you were doing the larger version of Puss, you'll be wanting to use those extensions on top on the sides. You can do it now or before you loop it up, and that'll give that extra bulk. So pull all those side loops out. You would cap it on top and stretch these across to the center. And that's another way to hold it all in place. So let's finish up our center piece here. This can go right up to that second peg on the middle. And we can throw on our arms now. So what we're going to do is reach under, if you're using the long ones, and pull out those bands, and you would put your arm onto that and bring this over onto your last peg. However, for this project, I'm going to be doing the shorter white ones. So let's grab a couple of white. This is for the begging Puss in Boots, where he is looking up with the wide eyes. So we're going to loop it 3 times, and we'll take 2 more. We wanted this to be a little bit longer so it shows well over the hat. Bring it over, and let's do another 2, make it nice and long. And repeat. 1, 2, 3, onto 2 bands, and onto 2 bands. That should be good. So once more, if you're doing the longer arms, you would be slipping it onto this band. But as I'm doing the shorter ones and I want them to appear right below the chin, I will loop these last ones, and I'm actually going to put my white bands onto the black. And loop that straight to the center. This is the collar. If you have a white bead or a white band you want to try and fit on top of that collar piece, it's entirely up to you. And maybe we should be looping these out. We'll do it the reverse way, sorry guys. We started these on the center, so we should come out from the center. Just make sure it stays nice and secure. So bring that band over, this on top, get both of those bands on, and now we'll do this one coming from the center going out again. It should be on our band, on our hook first actually. There we go. And we will need to secure this. So let's put on a couple of neck bands. We'll actually slip this through, we'll catch it from underneath. And just for the time being, we'll put a couple of securing bands through our shoulder pegs to make sure we don't lose anything there. And we'll take this off of our loom, see how this looks. It's actually usually best to come from the top of the loom, but mine's a little bit wobbly, so I like to sometimes come from the sides or even the bottom. Sometimes an extra little tug gives a help, but you don't want to stretch your bands up too much, so be really careful when you're doing this. See if we can get that last off from the top now. Alright, get a hold of your securing bands, and we'll be wrapping these back a little bit later. There is the start of our body. Okay, and we'll be back shortly with your head.